Join me today as we fly Air France Premium Economy from Paris to Houston, Texas. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're flying back to the States after a few weeks in Europe. This trip starts out in Munich early in the morning on the first outbound to Paris. I'm lucky to be sitting today in the exit row in seat 14 Alpha. Luckily I have the seat next to me empty since it was blocked prior to check-in as an ultimate with Air France. You know, for this being such an early flight, as soon as we climbed above the clouds, there was immediately a lot of sun. It's always really enjoyable, and I couldn't help but keep my window open for most of this flight, taking advantage of the beautiful sights. After the service began, a sneaky glass of champagne hidden in a paper cup appeared for me. You've got to admit, it is an interesting way to deliver champagne, but I'm definitely not complaining as I needed it on this early flight. As this flight was mostly full, I was definitely grateful to have the block seat next to me, giving me that little bit of extra space to be able to spread out. And before I knew it, we had landed in Charles de Gaulle. I'd initially hoped for a misconnect on this flight, with only an hour initially scheduled in Charles de Gaulle, but we arrived early, so it didn't look like it would happen. As we deplaned, I began to rush towards my next flight at the 2K gates. Luckily, this specific route, 2F to 2K, has no security, just immigration, so I was able to make it with a little time to spare. Sadly, though, there wasn't enough time to use the lounge 2K. This was particularly disappointing because 2K just got a new lounge. The Air France lounge there has been updated and has a very nice ultimate room, so I've been told. I haven't been able to check it out yet. Hopefully next time. Once I got to the gate, I was able to pre-board, in air quotes, since it's a bus departure gate. So all that meant was I was the first on the bus instead of at the back of the Zone 1 line we see here. After we had a fully loaded bus, we headed towards the aircraft. Now, I am going to sound a little entitled here, but typically at this level of status, through like, say, Lufthansa Group, I would have had a private transfer to the aircraft from the first class lounge. Air France does not offer this, sadly. Once on board, I made my way to what I thought was my seat, 21 Charlie. After sitting down, I realized I was in the wrong seat. I was in the next bulkhead, the exit row further down. But when I got to that seat, the chief de cabin was waiting for me and proposed moving me to premium economy. I won't say no to an upgrade, especially on a long flight like this. On second thought, who needs a private transfer when you have a complimentary upgrade like this? Very nice. I got moved to an entire middle row, all to myself, which was extremely nice of the crew. This was definitely a surprise and delight moment. So let's do a seat tour. This specific cabin is arranged in a 242 configuration with a very nice little footrest down here. Now, being 6'5", 6'6", not possible for me to use. There's multiple storage containers on the back here, which is very nice to see, as well as little pockets if you want to put a phone or some headphones. There's a tray table in the armrest, as well as a water bottle holder. The infotainment screen is absolutely massive and very responsive. Air France also includes the option to do Bluetooth, which is very appreciated, especially since I love to use my AirPod Maxes, and I don't often like using airline included headphones. Overall, screen range is very good, even when the person in front of you is fully reclined, as seen here. After takeoff, the meal service began, and I was served this delicious meal. Now, this is my first time flying Air France Premium Economy, and to be honest, I think the meal was mostly economy stuff, but I had a beef dish here, along with cheese, bread, some chocolate cake, I believe, and then an appetizer that was quite strange, to be honest. I wasn't a huge fan. Luckily, though, due to the premium economy being mostly empty, I was served also the vegetable lasagna a little later when I asked if they had a second meal since I hadn't been able to eat at the lounge. And to be honest, I was very hungry. I really enjoyed both mains, though, and I have to admit, Air France always has great food on board. It's one of the greatest advantages of flying them, along with the champagne. We snuck into the bathroom in business class to take a look at the amenities. They have Clarins products on board, which is really nice in case you want to touch up your skincare or freshen your face. And overall, it's a pretty standard bathroom. Nothing to write home about, but plenty of space, gets the job done. And like I said, these amenities are quite nice that they include them, including the little makeup pads. Since this was a day flight, I spent most of the flight working, but I did take a quick break to grab some snacks. Now you may notice that giant bottle of fused tea on the tray table. This is not something you can typically get on board. Yes, you can get fused tea, not the entire bottle. However, on my preference sheet, I list I like plenty of fused tea, and the crew obliged by giving me the entire bottle. Yes, I drank it all, but that was pretty awesome of them, I will admit. Here's the lunch that we got on board as well, close to the landing. It's pretty simple, just some sandwiches, some bread, a little like apple puree, and some sort of dessert. Overall, though, I enjoyed it, and it was pretty good for a pre-landing snack, at least for economy. I don't know if I would say it's that great for premium economy. And then just like that, we land in Houston, Texas. Thank you for joining me on this flight. I wasn't expecting to review premium economy as I booked economy, but when the opportunity presented itself, why not, right? Overall, I did enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment if you've flown Air France Premium Economy before.